Yeah, I think that.
Good. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to all of the Akiams in the four corners of this earth, pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. To the confusion of these Akiams, to the Akwats out there, the sincere Akwats out there listening and learning. Shalom, yo. This is Brother Nahal from GMS Jamaica Camp, and with me, Ak.
Zach.
Right, and basically, this incident where a stabbing took place in New York, a stabbing between a Jake and some Jewish people, which are Edomites, you know what I mean? And basically, as the precept in 2 Corinthians says, you know what I mean, lest Satan should get a advantage over us. I mean, because we're not ignorant of his devices,
It's in 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Right, we're not ignorant of what Esau is doing. We actually see where all of this is it's going to. Hence the name of this video. You know what I mean? Esau is building his case against us. You see where Esau is bringing all of these incidents to what's, let's say, the point, you know what I mean, or the checkpoint where he wants to bring these incidents to you. And what's that? To the censoring of our videos, you know what I mean? Ultimately, to get us off of the YouTube, to get us off of the highways and byways, basically to try and stop this truth ultimately, you know. So hey, we see what Esau is doing, you know.
It's a quick precept. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and he that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
Right, because prophecies are unfold, but they closer and closer to the end, you know what I mean? As in 2nd Esdras 9 and even Matthew 24, where Yahweh shall tell disciples how to measure the time. We actually measure it, and we see that prophecies are unfold both on the highways and byways. I try to wake up the elect, you know what I mean? And Esau actually, believe it or not, Esau watch videos as well, So therefore, even the elites know that we're near the end, and the more them watch the video, the more we put it out there, because the more we put out this word, we actually hasten the time, And Esau knows that as well, So hey, come down and know us having great wrath, right? Because him have but a short time,
I probably see Esau as the end of this world. Jacob is the beginning of it that far. All right, reading this article from RT, entitled "Stabbing at Rabbi's Home is Act of Domestic Terrorism." New York Governor Cuomo, you pronounce the name right? Dated December 29th, 2019, year for Mark the Beast. All right, let's go into the article. It says, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said the stabbing in a rabbi's home next to a synagogue in Muncie, New York, that left 5 people wounded is an act of domestic terrorism, fueled by intolerance. 5 Hasidic Jews were stabbed by the machete-wielding attacker who broke into the house of Rabbi Chaim Rothenberg late on Saturday night. The perpetrator allegedly a black male slashed at victims indiscriminately as they attempt to flee the chaotic scene.
Right. Let's continue.
It said, this intolerance meets ignorance meets illegality. Cuomo told reporters on Sunday, calling the attack the 13th incident of anti-Semitism in recent weeks.
Right, see that? The 13th incident, so Esau keep a record, Who does that? Esau, Jake gets shot down almost every day, People die almost every day. Almost them have proxy war over there in the Middle East, yo. People are dead off by the numbers, and them not keep record of that, yo.
Israel are bomb out Gaza Ross.
Right, you know, and people are dying, you know. But them not keep close, they not pay close attention to all of that as how them pay close attention to this, yo. Because why? Esau have a ulterior motive, yo, behind all of this. So that's why I keep track, you know. That kind of thing.
He said, this is violence spurred by hate. It is mass violence, and I consider it an act of domestic terrorism.
Right.
Police have arrested the alleged perpetrator, though his possible terrorist motives are unknown. The man was arrested without struggle in Harlem shortly after midnight. He has been identified as 37-year-old Grafton Thomas and will face 5 counts of attempted murder and 1 count of burglary, Police Chief Brad Weedell told AP. The attack took place during the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah. A Rabbi's Rothenberg was hosting around 100 people in his home for the lighting of a candle marking the 7th night on the holiday. The rabbi's home is located in Rockland County, which has the highest per capita population of Jews of any U.S. county. The New York Police Department Counterterrorism Unit said it is closely monitoring the incident. Prior to the attack, Mayor Bill de Blasio announced that the NYPD would step up patrols in Jewish neighborhoods of New York City, citing strings of recent anti-Semitic attacks.
Strings of recent, I mean, so them try connect all of it, you know, from and you can actually see where it started, yo. No, actually not even where it started, but you can actually see that how it play out, because first you had this Rasta man, you know what I mean, wheel out a knife and actually tried to stab a Jewish man, telling him to go back to Israel, you know, which they actually don't belong in that land. That Rasta man never know about that, but that just you know, that contradiction.
Sound fishy.
Yeah, you know, like him don't know where was said, you know, him just Esau just put him on the scene to do some madness, you know. Then they had another nigga in London, another Jake in London, you know what I mean, push down this Jewish man shouting, kill all Jews, you know. Then recently had the New Jersey shooting, you know. In the article, them actually say them have 13 cases, you know, which, truth be told, I haven't heard of some of them, you know what I mean. Only 10 of the ones that I heard of, you know. But Esau, basically, he's building his case to come up against us, you know what I mean. They actually want, in their mind, to have a solid reason to come against us, here. But we see and know that, hey, them don't have any solid reason, you know, but they must get fooled, you know what I mean. They must actually, lead the mass in a direction to where when they come up against us, the mass of people are going to actually about them, behind them, you know.
And scripture says, we shall be hated of all men, right? The son of man's sake. And Esau basically be the one who basically push the lie, yo. Put you on this television and suffer it as terrorists. Let's get this real quick here. This is Psalms 50 and 20. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent. Thou thoughtest I was altogether such an one as thyself, but I will prove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
Right, yeah. That's Esau, yo, because we are Esau's brother. Really check it out, and I mean, go to Genesis 25, yo. You know, and it's slander, Esau slanderous day in day out, yo. You know.
And when you go back to the word devil, that's also one of the meaning, you know, slanderer. And it's curious, the devil come down onto us having great wrath, yo. Right, slander because in the day you know so we're not a goddamn terrorists. You know, so when we instigate physical violence and a Jake basically fight against his power. Right? Romans, I think the 13th chapter, yo. They will say we're not supposed to oppose. Right? This
and definitely also you tell us how to wait upon your house, right? You know. Can't. I would never go back to us, you're a deceiver, you know. That's why I'm a deceiver a lot of persons know, you know.
And the scripture say you have a father, the devil. Using basically he was a liar from the beginning. Right, and that's Esau, yo. All in these tell lies. This is Revelation 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, who accused them before God day and night.
Who's that? Esau.
I'm accused as terrorists.
And as we go into this next article here, basically, we want to show you that Esau actually try and link this incident to the New Jersey one. Why? Because they actually have a direct, well, as them instigators, as how them farm it, them actually have a direct link with the New Jersey shooting with the Hebrew Israelites, you know. So therefore, them try to connect this one to the New Jersey shooting so that them can say, hey, all of this hatred, all of this violence, terrorism was spurred by the Hebrew Israelites, you know, get brought about by the Hebrew Israelites, you know. So I'll get into it.
All right, so this is an article from heavy.com entitled Grafton Thomas, five fast facts you need to know. Let's skip down to the paragraph.
Jump to what verse, huh? Yeah, paragraph. Go back to paragraph. I'll come down. Yeah, see this first. Alright, it's called, well, we actually had that already, in the first one where you tell me that there's at least 13 anti-Semitic attacks in New York. And if you even did check out the comment board on the first article, people are asked question, why is it that as soon as a Jewish person is attacked or some incident with a Jewish person, it makes the headline. Why? Because the elites of these societies are from Jewish descent, so-called Jewish, because we know that they're Edomites, so, you know, I mean, we're the real Jews, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, I mean, Jew coming from Judah, you know what I mean? But you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Israelites, you know?
And the whole lie of anti-Semitism, first of all, there's no such thing as Semitic. The correct thing would be Shemitic. And so-called black man, right, an Israelite man, or even Arabs then, or Ishmael, who put it in the biblical name Ishmael, because there's no race as Arabs, right? They cannot be anti-Semitic, right? Shemitic here because we are all from Shem, right? Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Japheth. Right, we the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Spanish, Latinos were true biblical Israelites, and Esau, the red Hebrew Edomite, so-called white man, right, and the Arabs, them so-called, right, we're from what? From Shem. So it can't be anti-Shemitic. That would be ridiculous. We're going again to self. We should have put it on.
The first article of the. Scroll down. The first paragraph after this one. After this photo.
Alright, so let's read in an article. Lazlo will show them in the description box. It said, public records show that Thomas lived in a house on Lake Drive in Greenwood Lake that has been owned by a relative since 2001. He previously lived in Brooklyn, New York, records show. In contrast to previous attacks where suspect had prolific online presence, no obvious social media accounts for Thomas have been unearthed.
Right. Let's say we'll try to link him, try to see if him connected to any so-called hate groups or any groups in particular.
I'm going to pull up one video with him stand up in front of one camera to see that. Black Hebrew Israelite.
Right. And before we even get good, as you can see, what I said, it had prolific online presence, abundant online presence, Instead of in contrast to previous attacks where the suspects, had prolific online presence, So they must try to say the previous attacks, the suspects were online, they were abundant online, preaching about hate speech, talking about hate, talking about anti-Semitism, according to them, But actually, who them are talking about? us Hebrew Israelites, you know, because we teach that hey, Jews over there in Israel, the Jewish over there in Israel aren't the real Jews, yo. You know what I mean? We talk about Esau going down, yo. We talk about World War III, yo. We talk about Yahushua coming back and putting basically mass murdering most of these people, yo. Especially our people. It isn't just you Edomites, yo.
Esau can go racist.
You know?
Listen, the first of all, race mean one piece doing people.
Right.
Alright, I know what they say, every single wicked ass person on the face of the earth, yo, Yahushua come get rid of. You see me, and Esau, so far, where you read them, I when a slave along with the nation, them, they can't so racist, cause tell niggas, they call them niggas too, so they must say, I kill them if they don't repent. Right, so as I say, I'm a try build a case, yo. Kind of idea, yo, all my bodies are still like, they can't find no justified reason to come up against it. Right, how do we some man on the streets reading the Bible? Nothing else. You know, so we are going to go burn down now, you know, so we are physically or literally threatening nobody. Right, you know, so we are basically say we are going to do this and we are going to do that. Or nothing like that. You will read, does say how about Shem Yahushai. Reading from the Bible, nothing else. And don't supposed to have freedom of religion, so to speak, freedom of speech. Yeah, for the law. Which most says we're going to do that for us.
Well, no, he started using agent provocateurs, them, you know. You know what I mean, and try let them go to the norm, because the scripture says, you know, 2 Corinthians 10:4, that our weapons are not carnal. Esau go have him agent provocateurs, or go carnal, buying up guns, vests. You know what I mean?
I have niggas too. I doing the same foolish. But any idea, yo, is anybody know the Hebrew Israelites here? I'm gonna put it out there as well. We're gonna promote physical violence here. You see me? Right? No, if I step to it, we're different myself. However, when you say we go burn down this or no, we said the most side is me I will basically bring forth World War III upon the face of the earth. But the acts of World War III, Russia is the EU and other nations are basically bomb America, and the terrorists will come on and fire to it. When they say we are going to do nothing, we are not doing nothing, we are over them. Right? So the world, well, anybody with sense knows how that is. But nevertheless, the majority go by the fulfill prophecy. Psalms 83.
Yeah.
So this is Psalms 83 verse 3. That's 2. Yeah. Is it for lo thine enemies make instead of 1. Is a psalm of the decree of Esau. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thine innocent ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So let them take crafty counsel against us, you know what I mean? Try to figure out ways and means to get us off the highways and byways, to stop this truth, yo. You know what I mean? And not only against us Hebrew Israelites, yo, or the men of the Most High, you know what I mean? But Israel on a whole.
Exterminate.
Yeah, we useless eaters, yo. All we do a break sweat. Produce sweat, you know what I mean?
Try to put in that predicament.
You know? So them use you and know they were planning to throw away, you know what I mean? Them use we in a slavery, you know. Hey, we don't have no use no more, them not have no more use for us now, you know. So hey, them are planning for get rid of us, you know what I mean?
Hey, you either might say you created the nigga, yo. You see me? The nigga is a byproduct of what you're doing. This is Micah 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
Right. Diligently.
That's how we call it now, in media. Is pushing out these stories, these lies actually, and I try to tie them on the us here for basically make the mass believe that we are basically terrorists, and now we basically push for the law. The scriptures say he framed mischief by law, and then he couldn't come up against the prophets of the Most High. But remember the scripture, right? Isaiah 59 verse 19. Where Most High just wait for you to make your move. The Most High make you move, for him make you move. Right? Kind of like you're independent from the Most High. Yeah. Next one. Yeah, this is Job 5 verse 12. He is appointed devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
So as you just say, yo, the Most High, I mean, I'll make you make his move, and then the Most High make he move, you know.
That's right.
The Most High now got to sit back and look at destroying prophets here, you know what I mean.
The scripture say, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm.
You know.
The scripture say, he that toucheth Israel touches the heart of him high.
Right.
You think he might take that lightly? Shall not the Lord avenge his own elect?
Come. Yeah.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth.
Right, yeah. And that goes for everyone. You know what I mean? Especially Esau, you can't do nothing for the truth, but for the truth. Because the more you put it out there, people will be like,
good publicity.
You know?
Wake up the elect.
Right, you know?
Why they want to say the Jews are fake? We
Yeah,
look up the
look
truth.
into it,
And what the Hebrew Israelites them?
Yeah.
Let's find out.
And the scripture say, my sheep hear my voice,
And they
follow me, you know what I mean? Say once them, a lot of brothers can tell you, yo, them start watch a video, hooked, you know what I mean? So the elect, yo, as the apostle say and believe the elect already sealed, yo, you know what I mean? But if there's any elect out there, you know what I mean, as them start watching, bro, get hooked, you know? So, hey, publicity.
No, it's a process.
Yeah, so basically that's it on that, you know what I mean? Hope anyone watching was edified, yo, you know, giving our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashan, Yahushai, Ba'ashan, Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of James Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to our Africans in the four corners of this earth, pushing this word without truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.